Hello friends, I welcome you all in yet another series of GST Easy. Friends, in this video we will learn how to file Form GSTR 4 on GST portal. Friends, as we all know that Form GSTR 4 is for composition dealers only. Compositions dealers are required to file their quarterly return in Form GSTR 4. Friends, there is no online utility for filing this form. We need to rely on offline utility only. We need to download that utility, punch data, generate a particular specified file, and upload that file to complete filing process. How we will do the entire exercise, we will learn all these things in this brief video. Firstly, we will go into the download section of GST portal, then offline tools, then click on GSTR for offline tool. I have already downloaded this thing. Once you save it, extract it, then following file will appear. A security warning on the top that macros have been disabled. Friends, like ITR sheets, you need to enable macros here. Click on options, enable content, punch OK. Friends, first sheet, it is readme sheet. That means it talks about instructions that we need to follow while filling this form. So I will try to explain all the instructions in brief while we proceed to fill this form. Next sheet is of home page. It talks about further instructions and it has summary also. Here is a summary. It will be generated once you punch all your data. Then on the top we need to mention your GSTI number, your financial year and tax bill. Let's say your GSTI number is 07. I'm taking some random number. Then select financial year, obviously 17. Tax period is July to September. Friends, there is something mentioned, it's open, downloaded for GSTR4, generate JSON file. I will explain you all these things once we fill the entire form, because these things will be required later on, not now. So let's move further. Our first sheet is 4B B2B. That means it requires information regarding your inward supplies received from registered suppliers attracting reverse charge. Friends, here we need to mention your reverse charge that comes under section 9 subsection 3. Here in this sheet they are not asking details regarding section 9 subsection 4 reverse charge, only section 9 subsection 3 reverse charge details you need to mention here. Section 9 subsection 3 talks about supplies from certain specified persons like GTAs, advocate and so on. So let's see how to fill data in the same. GSTIN of supplier. Let's say our supplier has GSTIN is then we'll punch invoice number. Let's say it's 25. Then invoice date. Our date should be within that quarter, that is 1st July till 30th of September. Let's say our date is 28th of August. Friends, do remember the format. It's date, then dash month, then dash year. Invoice value. Friends, invoice value means your taxable value plus taxes. Let's say your invoice was of 10,000 plus taxes. Let's say your taxes fall under 12% category, then your total invoice value will be 10,000 plus 12%, it's 11,200. Then place of supply. Suppose our place of supply is Delhi. Then it talks about reverse charge. Friends, I don't know why this column has been inserted, since it heading already says that attracting reverse charge, that means it will be yes only. Here there is no icon to select no, so we have to select here. Invoice type regular, again no option, we have to select rate. Our rate is 12%. Taxable value means the value on which tax is calculated. In our case it's 10,000. Friends, you can clearly see the moment I punch taxable value are CGST and GST details auto-filled here. Taxes auto-filled here. Friend, how, just imagine how the system has decided that your tax is CGST and IGST only and not IGST. I will tell you how system treats this thing. Here we mentioned GSTIN of supplier is 07. 07 is a state code. In the place of supply, we again selected Delhi. It has 07. Friends, once these two codes are same, rather I must say, when your this code matches with this code, then your supply, your taxes fall in this thing. The moment you changes this thing, then you can clearly see when the moment I selected Rajasthan, then that applicable taxes will be IGST. So we need to be very careful while selecting these things. Next thing is cess. In our case there is no cess. Let's I select 0. Sheet validation error. Friends, firstly I will punch validate sheet. It says that sheet has no error. Let's say I let's say delete this thing from here, then I validate sheet. Yes, friends, it says there are errors in sheet highlighted in red color. You can also filter erroneous item based on the errors. It says error found in row. When I tick my cursor, it says that this field cannot be left blank. Hence, I need to selected something. So I was just trying to now again validate it. It says no error. So I hope that this sheet is clear to you. Now move on to next sheet. Our next sheet is 4C, that is inward supplies received from unregistered supplier. Friends, you can see the here GSTIN column is not there because you are taking supplies from unregistered person. Again, invoice number, invoice date, friend, then invoice value, let's say 1000 rupees, invoice value 1000 rupees plus, let's say this time taxes are 5%, then my total figure will be 1500, sorry, 10500. Place of supply. Friends, as we all know that in July to September period, unregistered persons cannot make supplies other than their home state. So friends, if you are filling the GST return of SSC which is based in particular state, let's say your SSC is of Rajasthan, then place of supply in this sheet can be of Rajasthan only and not any other state. Else it will be a burden, it will be a different thing, it will be a problem for your unregistered supplier, because unregistered supplier cannot make an interstate supply in July to September period. In our case it's Delhi, so I am mentioning it. Supply type, obviously it's be intrastate only. In next quarter, let's say October to December, things could be otherwise also, because government has given various relaxation. Now select the percentage. Taxable value is 10,000. These fields are auto populated here. CGST and SGST. This sheet is quite similar to the last sheet, but two things we need to take care, that the place of supply should be the home state, should be the local, should be of uh, home state of the your unregistered supplier, because he could not make an interstate supply, and this sheet has no GST thing. Clear, friends? Now let's move on. The validate sheet, no error. Next sheet is 4D IMPS, that is import of service. Friends, again, if you are taking import of service, not goods, if you are taking import of service, then you need to fill this sheet here. And let's say our invoice number is this. Again, invoice value again 10,000, and let's say this time it's 18%, 11,800. Place of supply Delhi, rate, taxable value is, friends, this sheet is quite simpler. No CGST, JST, only IGST in case of import. IGST is applicable. Again, validate sheet. It says no error. We can move further. Next item is 5B debit note and credit note. Friend, this sheet is quite important. Here you need to furnish in this sheet debit and credit notes regarding your receipt from registered supplier. GSTN number you will punch it here. Let's say your GSTN number is, I'm punching a random number, so don't go by the same, because it needs usually it needs to have certain characters. I'm just fully fulfilling that thing. Next is note refund voucher number. Let's say it's 25. Refund voucher date, it needs to be in your that quarter. Let's say it's 20th August 2017. Invoice payment voucher number 23. Endorsement voucher date, that here it talks about your basic invoice against which you are raising a debit note or credit note. So this date should be either same or post to that date. That means you first raise an invoice, then only debit and credit notes can be raised, because debit and credit notes cannot be raised in solo, and it needs to have certain basics. Let's say our invoice was of 10th of July 2017. It was pre-GST. If your invoice was pertaining to pre-GST pay, friends, then you will mention these details here. Friends, I feel that this pre-GST thing is not required here, because it's a first return. If it is a pre-GST, then these taxes which are mentioned here would not have been there. So I believe that pre-GST cannot be selected for this quarter. For further quarter we can select it, but not now. Next is document type. Let's say it's like a debit note. Friends, I believe that you must have idea that when debit note is issued, when credit note is issued. Friends, let's say we receive a particular good, and but the goods were deficient quality and we rejected a particular quantity of goods. Then in that case we will debit that particular party and issue a debit note. Okay friends, and we will select a proper head here. Why we are issuing that note? Let's say in our case deficiency in service. They provided certain services was not up to mark, so we are raising a debit note. Our reason is deficiency of services. Similarly, you can select your sale return, purchase return, depending upon your type of note. Let's supply type, interested, reverse charge. I don't know why this reverse charge thing is here, and we have to select it yes, because it is not necessary that debit note credit notes are regarding reverse charge supply. So this field I believe has certain errors. Please look into same and update me. Here it says only yes, and it's a mandatory field. Next, note refund value. It says any value, and the rates will be calculated. The rest of the thing will be like earlier that we do did 10,000 plus taxes, and remaining things will be calculated. Next field is 5-bit debit notes, credit notes from unregistered supplier. Friends, here all things are similar. Rest only the GSTN number is not there. Okay friends, rest of things are same. Entire sheet is same. Next is, yeah, that's a very important sheet. Next is tax on outward supplies made, net of advance and goods returned. Friends, as we know that for composition dealers, three rates are prescribed: 1%, 2%, and 5%. Okay friends, for traders it's 1%, for manufacturers it's 2%, 5% for restaurant and other services. Let's say we are a trader and our supply was, let's say, 6 lakh. Friends, it's auto calculates. Friends, as we know that composition dealers cannot make an interstate supply, that's why IGST column is not there. Okay friends, this sheet is quite simple. Punch your turnover excluding taxes. You will punch your gross turnover and the tax will be calculated. Next is 8A, advance amount paid for reverse supplies in the tax period. Friends, here we will mention if we paid for advance regarding particular supplies that attract reverse charge, then we will mention here. Let's say we will select a date, supply type, it's interstate, or let's say interstate, rate in which it's for, let's say 12%, gross advance. Friends, here it talks about gross amount. You can clearly see the moment I punch is 50,000 gross amount I have paid, it calculated IGST 6,000 rupees. Okay friend, these are just for government information sake thing. Validate thing, the sheet is quite easy, nothing much. Next is 8B ATADG. Next is talked about advance amount on which tax was paid in earlier period but invoice has been received in current period. Friends, I believe that this sheet is also not relevant here. You cannot pay taxes in prior to July because here we are punching return, here preparing return for first quarter, hence you cannot pay taxes, GST taxes before 1st of July. So friend, this sheet is quite irrelevant for this quarter. For further quarter this sheet will be relevant as it talks about advance amount on which taxes were paid in earlier period but invoice has been received in current period. So friends, we cannot pay GST in the month of June for the month of July. After validating all the sheets, you will go in the home page, then you will generate a JSON file. Processing may take some time, please wait. And it shows certain error. The errors was because that we have used dummy GSTI number. Once you use proper GSTI number, your file will be generated quite easily. I have tried it and it was successful. Then you will, the JSON file, the file will have link called .json. You will upload that file on GSTN portal. If it has certain errors, then it will show these errors and then you can download an error JSON file from GST portal and your errors will be shown here. Once you import that file here, then it will see GST portal validation error, and these errors can be found only after once you try to upload and there were certain errors in your form. So you will download a error file, and this can be done only once we generate a proper GSTR4 file and try to upload it and then download the error file for correction of errors. It's here it talks about how many files will be generated, and you will unzip and errors will be displayed. In simple terms, you will download an error file, it will be populated here and you will know what are the errors, correct this error and file it. Friends, I believe that you will like that presentation. Please do post your comments, your queries in the comments box, and please do subscribe our channel, and your comments means a lot to us. Thank you friends, thank you for watching this video.